All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, hopefully, the Most High in your house, y'all, is blessing your day by His mercies you want to consume. We're alive in the Most High in your house, y'all's body, and two are naturally alive. And I want to get into this, man, because, yeah, man, just being alive in the Most High in your house, y'all's body, and naturally alive, man. Also, too, this kind of goes into giving, kind of the offset of, you know, because I was thinking about this the other day. Shout out to the brother sent me first one for bringing this out, but giving the Most High house shot the best that we got, honestly, man. The Nita Baker song, man. Always bring your best for the Most High in house shot. See, Spirit, she sleep. My cat, she shed. So a lot of times, if you see sometimes like hair on my face or clothes, it's Spirit, it's my cat, but she's sleeping right now. But but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, because I want to get into this, because you know what it is too. Like we always, we kind of went into, can't, this really goes into this. It's just really where it starts from, right? We get the whole, the good, the one, it started from the beginning, man, with the Most High house shot, the light versus darkness, righteousness and wickedness, right? Then that later on went to, of course, the garden, when your house, the Most High house said, "Well, my seed versus will be enmity," there'll be a separation between the Most High house shot seed, their sons that and the serpent seed and the Satan seed, right? That's where it happened. Then it started with Cain and Abel. Then later on, Jacob and Esau. Then Saul and David Saul and David. Then later Yahushua the Pharisee. So it's always been that, right? But because it's going to let's go to Genesis. Then we're gonna go into Jude, right? We're gonna go into Jude real quick with this. Then we go to Genesis, then we hit Jude. This is Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So see, kind of what we just talked about, discussed. So let's go to Jude real quick, because this is where it kind of goes into. Because this is a lot going into, that goes into this whole thing. Let's go to Jude. It says Jude chapter 1 verse 11. It says, "Woe to them that for they have gone the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for war, and perished in the gainsaying the core." And that's talking about the sons of Korah in number 16. But against the rebellion against the Most High house and Moses. But I want to go into that because even the evil eye, because that started with Cain, honestly, that kind of started with Cain, that evil eye. Even before, that's why we had problems even before, we were established as a nation, man. Just like sin and death is ultimate enemy. But all that stuff, like the evil eye, stuff like that happened with Cain and Joseph's brothers, even though they later repented. Even speaking of Korah, sons of Korah, that happened. Well, then no, we were that's when we were established. But even during with Joseph's time, but I'm just saying even before, I'm just saying that because we just always had, there was always issues with that, but that evil eye. But that's not really want to go into that really, because honestly, right? Because it's more because Saul was a Cain type of dude, man. It is honestly, it's not even even that having that evil eye and hatred for your brother, that aside, it was one, they didn't give the Most High Yahushua their best, honestly, in the covetousness, and they wanted to keep it for themselves. Shout out to the brother Semi Firstborn for pointing that out, man, because let's just get this in Genesis chapter 4 real quick, man, because hold on. This gets grabbed this too real quick, because we talked about this before, that offering as well spiritually, we talked about. I think I kind of mentioned it on the on the class on Wednesday with the brother that sent me firstborn. It was Cain's life, because doesn't Romans 12:1 says give your life as an offering to the Most High house, a living sacrifice. So it was the Most High. It was Cain's life that the Most High house was displeased with. But also too, what we learned from Cain is the sense of it's that thing we always talk about, right? It's that Kathy Bates from misery, or Nurse Ratchet from One Who Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest. That mentality, the I know what's best for you mentality, or that whole having respect or no respecting person, or not giving somebody what they would you're not giving anybody what they want and like what you think they want. Honestly, like no, instead of what they what they said they want, man. So pretty much like the I know is best for you mentality, or like no, and that's ultimate like disrespect. Pretty much like in Most High House I said that. Listen, no, I'm not accepting this. It's not what I want in peace. And because you know what it's too. We kind of went on this beforehand because I had that moment. I think I told y'all about this a few months ago, man. Because somebody asked me to do something, and I did. I kind of got a little upset, but I was like, wait, I had to calm that down. Wait, that's the way it came right now. Because listen, this person said this, they wanted this, so give them this. That's why it's always best. Because you know what? It's a two things can be true type of thing, right? Because in the selfish world, like when Second Timothy says, and like a world where this is a selfish world, everybody's lovers of themselves. It's like honestly, because with man, it's the thought that counts. But with the Most High house shot, that's not the case, and that's really the big separation. Because even with certain people, like you gotta realize, okay, the thought that counts. That's not with everybody. So the best thing you do if you're gonna give somebody something, like give them a gift card so they can get something that they want. Honestly, shout out to brother Sammy first for him even saying that. But me, say for somebody like me or even other brothers and sisters, like I am that type of person, like the thought does count with me, even though I might not careful per se, but I know because what it is too, it's the spirit of and the mentality of, okay, this person went out their way just to think about it think about somebody other than themselves. It's like, dang, this really person was went out their way, did do something for me, and I might give it to somebody else that actually might like it or want it. But that's like, but at the same time too, you can't be you can't be upset when somebody says no. I appreciate the thought, but no, here, actually take it. Here, you can have that back. Take that back because I don't want that. And that's not rude or disrespectful. They just don't want that. Just like but if you get upset with that, that's like you can't get upset with that. Honestly, I'm even learning that. I really had to can't do that honestly, because when I do have those moments like that fleshy moments, like, okay, wait, that's kind of like a Cain moment. Like, what this person said. They don't want that. Take it back, and you can't get, because that's a Cain type of mentality. Just like even though these modern, honestly, a lot of times these our sisters out here, that's when we made a video about it. We talked about this a few months ago, that the whole you can't handle me type of spirit, or I'm gonna do what I want to do type of spirit. That's the way it came, and I'm in in the man of of respect or honor, or a certain code of conduct, actual real man, actually traditional man, as they say. He's not going to go for that, but you can't get mad at him and say no. I'm not dealing with that. Like, you can't handle me. I can do what I want to do. That whole Tony Braxton, he wasn't man enough, or that type of. We see a lot of these sisters here. Shoot, what is in the word or out the word? Just in general, when they come like that, like, no, I'm not dealing, because that's a Cain mentality as well. Like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want, and you're just gonna take it. Like, that's with anybody too. I mean, I say that because a lot of times too, with the like these modern Western women, like a lot of times too, they kind of move like that, honestly, and it happens around the world, honestly, with just certain women, women around the world, but it's really here in this Western part, because the Mother Goddess worship, the divine feminine, the feminist move, all that stuff that happens. But also too, that's with anybody though. Too, it's that neither man or woman, honestly, somebody's kind of moving like that. You kind of got to depart from them or get away from them, because that's a Cain mentality. Oh, I'm going to do what I want. Around yeah, you can do that, but over there, not over here. Because that's what the Most High house child was made. He said that he moved like that from the beginning. They moved like that from the beginning, man. So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to get into that, man. But that's another aspect of the Cain mentality, is that covetousness or keeping the best for yourself. That's why I'm doing. No, we're going to get into this. We're going to get into it. It says, Genesis chapter 4 and verse... in verse 3, it says, and in the process of time, it came to pass, Cain brought the fruit of the ground and offering to the Lord. And verse 4, and it says, and Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock. So see, the firstlings, for God brought his best of the flock and the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering, But unto Cain his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. So and also to that offering was his life as well. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? If thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and it shall be his desire, and it shall rule over thee. And yeah, and that's what happened too. So yeah, and there's so much aspects of layers. That's what's so cool about the Most High Yahweh Shai His word, man. Because like even the first 5 books, even Genesis like 1 through 3 and like 2, like you can get so much like just out of that short just short count or short stories, man. But there's so much in there like that tells you from the beginning that could. But that's it is what it is. But but also too, but like honestly. The Most High House I said, listen, okay, if you do well, listen, we are gonna be good. But if you don't, no, you're just not gonna give me what what you want, and you kept the best for yourself, man. Honestly, so that's why even in the law it says, listen, in Deuteronomy 16 it says, listen, don't come even empty-handed before the Lord when those certain things, man. Or even Sirach Ecclesiastes says as well, don't come empty before the Lord. Give him your best, honestly, because then it say he let's grab this real quick. We're gonna go Proverbs 3. Then we're going to go to that in Ecclesiastes Sirach real quick, man. Because yeah, even our lives, not more than offering our lives, giving him the best we got, like that. I need a break from him and give him the best. Honestly, man. Because shout out to brother Shalimar, brother the brother calling Shalimar. Shout out to brother Shalimar, because I remember he said this honestly, in the camp or in the video a while back, a few weeks ago, he said, listen, even that's why Baruch says, listen, when you see the Most High, seek the Most High in your house 10 times more, as those your mind to go astray from them, man. Because honestly, we can't, for me, I can't get the world, before I came to the world, I can't get the world and Satan my best. Even Satan, not only the entity Satan, but because when you, I mean that Satan as in your verse to the Most High house, whether knowingly or not, before it came in the world. So I can't give that the world and stuff like that, and and wickedness and stuff like that before. I came to the world my best, and when I come in the word and give give a lethargic type of effort, man, or lazy, or give the Most High house shots nothing, man, or just or eventually I'm gonna get kicked out. I'm gonna be, gonna get cast away, man, honestly. And that's actually something I want to talk about today, but we might not have time that whole cast away. But yeah, man, just be half-hearted and not go all out for this, man, because it doesn't say, it says serve the Most High in fear and trembling, and work out your own salvation fear and trembling. Now, at the end of the day, that work is your faith. There's nothing that I can do, no matter how many videos I do, or even things outside, this is still up to the Most High house, man. But yeah, but anyway, man, that's like he said that though, man. So that's just is what it is. Even for us brothers and sisters, the same thing applies to all of us, man. So, but let's grab this too. Proverbs chapter 3, verse real quick, man, because this that's the way it came too. He wanted to keep the best for himself. Because Proverbs chapter 3 verse 9, honor the Lord with all thy substance. See, this was something that Abel did as well, because even Abel in his life did, man, because Abel had the spirit, it had the Holy Spirit, because Abel means breath, means the breath of life, man. So it says, honor the Lord with all thy substance, and with the first fruit of all thy increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. So see, when you see, it's to spiritually is going into how, listen, if you give kind of like that Romans 12:1 sacrifice, giving the Most High house child the best that you got, he's going to grow, and they're going to grow and build you in the faith, man. Because that new wine is that Luke chapter 5 and verse 39 wine, that new covenant, the gospel, witness, testimony. They're going to reveal more of themselves, for you, within you, and give you more knowledge and wisdom, understanding, and build up your faith, man. Honestly, man, he said to Abraham in Genesis 12 or Genesis 15:1, and Isaiah I think 52 or 51, that is the war right now on this side, even in the world to come. The kingdom starts within. So that honestly, that even knowing that's most on your house, that's a war within itself. But then the promises to come in the world to come, like the kingdom within and the physical kingdom. So yeah, man, that's just is what it is. So that new wine right here, that's the new covenant. That's the gospel. That's a witness. That's a testimony, man. So giving the best that you got with our lives, how we live, they're eventually going to get that. Not only just materialistic things or those type of things as far as like finance or materials or your own will desires, they gonna do it. What did your house shall say? Seek the kingdom of heaven, first, man, and inward kingdom, then the physical kingdom, then on the back end I'm gonna hit you with all the stuff that you want secularly in your life, your own desires, things of that nature. But you got to do the most high house shall's will first, then that comes. But so let's get this again. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 9. It says, honor the Lord with all thy substance, and the first fruit with all thy increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst with new wine. Yep, exactly. Yep. Ecclesiastes chapter chapter 35 verse 10. Give unto the Most High according as he enriched thee, and thou hast gotten, give with a cheerful eye. For the Lord recompense and will give thee 7 times as much. So see, he bless you sevenfold, man. It's not like you just doing it for the blessing, but if you give him the best that you got, well, why do you think that, what the perfect example was Solomon, man, or any other, right? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, or David, Solomon, Joseph, they wanted to move their faith and love of the Most High house at first. Then they got all that stuff after that, man. But Solomon's a perfect example of that, man. Even Job, everything that Job went through, man, then he blessed him sevenfold again, man. Honestly, but all them put the Most High house as will first, honestly, man. So that's just is what it is right there, man. So yeah, man, that's just you give the Most High house shall best it got. Because this too, a lot of times, shout out to elder brother Judah Mack, because he mentioned this one time too, because a lot of times too, and here's where that's what that rich man and Lazarus parable is about, or that Matthew 25 is about, man. There's a lot of people in the word, outside the word, they got all this money, but they hardly ever did. They probably did something for people here nor there, but but it's just because I realized too, my money that I have, on natural tip, of course. It is my money. It's my finance. Even the word said, but really spiritually, it's not my money. All this comes from the Most High in your house. Everything I have comes from the Most High in your house, man. So that's just is what it is. So that's why it's in the law to give and to the poor and to amongst the brothers and sisters need help. And more importantly, that's inside the world, inside the house, but even outside the house, even though those that are without, even those that's in the word, outside the word, man. So that's just what it is right there, man. So because this doesn't belong to me. Because a lot of people think that they got that off their own merit, man. But but I said mom because I talked to my mom. I'm sorry, but honestly, a lot of people don't realize this. Shout out to elder brother Judah Mack, man, for saying this, and Master Arthur for saying this years ago. Because if you watch, a lot of times most some billionaires or people that with money. Because really, that's how the Most High house shot they is so solid. Because they just do it because they do it for their namesake, or people in the word, out the word. Because when a lot of people give, because you've ever talked to watch billionaires or certain people with a lot of money, they say a lot of times they give their money away. Honestly, they now of course with other investments or sometimes Ponzi schemes or tax fraud or whatever. But sometimes they give their money away because usually that's how that's why with certain people, whether they in the word or out the word, the Most High in your house is always going to give them things back because they know with the money that what they're going to do it. They're not just going to be misers or that Scrooge McDuck spirit, it's all mine, swimming into money. No, they're going to give it to other people because that's why the Most High in your house always has them takes care of that aspect, takes care of them aspect because they know what they're going to do with it. Honestly, so yeah, man. So. Yeah, man. So that's what it is. Because a lot of people that have money like that, now there are some people that just rich people or wealthy people that just don't do nothing for people. But some, if you do some, there are some that's because too. Let me say this too. just because like you have like it's really like the First Timothy says like it's the love of money that's root of all evil, man. Honestly, that covetousness, that desire, but money itself is not evil, man. I remember watching the Clips interview. They kind of said that too. I think Malik said that, and that's a fact, man. So that's just is what it is too, man. But it's really the love of money. It's that covetousness because of that desire, the covetousness. That's the greed spirit. Like that's what it is, honestly. But yeah, because it's not because it's too. That's why even it's a balance that, man. Because like just cause somebody doesn't have money now, majority of the time people are like kind of like are like wicked and evil with money. There's plenty of people like that, but some not all people that are even wealthy or even are billionaires, like or have money. That doesn't mean they're bad people, honestly. Because I met some with those like not wealthy, but some people that have money, they're good people, man. One. It's the different aspect of like they're wicked, but they could be wicked in Most High Yahshua's eyes because it's like this. Really, let's detour real quick, man. Because a lot of times too with that, it's really like with this, right? Where men, it's going to be like it's kind of a different thing. Why it's all with humility coming and serving the Most High Yahshua. Because say if you get a man like that's in that aspect of men with those type of wealthy or billionaires or like a lot of money. They're like, okay, why would I serve the Most High Yahweh? Because like this is working for me, so why would I do that? Because a lot of people say like, with during the whole Kanye thing, they would try to say like, oh man, why the Jay-Z or all these celebrities? Because one, the Most High Yahweh wouldn't get esteemed by that, like that's why like because if there were more of them like like that did that came to serve the Lord. Honestly, not saying they can't because it's really up to Most High Yahweh, but if like they were like like preaching like the word a lot of times too, people will be more focused on them than the messenger rather than the message, honestly. So that's why the Most High Yahweh won't get esteemed. And plus they got money, so a lot of times people that's in that world, it's like, okay, why would I do it? Why would I stop and serve the Most High Yahweh? Like serve God because this stuff is working for me. Now it's rare that you have people like that, like like Yahweh that left the riches in heaven that came down to suffer with his people, or Moses or Abraham that left for everything that they had. Because it's insinuated that Abraham people had money or whatever, but I'm not sure because it's not in the word, but it's not in the text. But whatever, let's say that, or other people that did that, right? But it's the same aspect on the other side for a woman, right? That's why a lot of times too in the word, or we see it sometimes in the Christian church, but in other aspects in the spiritual sphere. But pretty much I'm saying this for brothers and sisters in the knowledge. Now there are plenty of beautiful sisters in the knowledge that's married with children, like obedient to their husband and stuff like that. But a lot of times too, a lot of times, like shout out to brother Semi first one for saying this too. That's why a lot of times too, like even I noticed this on the natural tip, right? A lot of times too, a lot of women that were very drop dead gorgeous, they never. Now I have met some that are really good people, honestly, but a lot of them, they never had to work on their character, honestly. I witnessed it throughout my life, like, honestly. Even to this day, you realize, like, okay, because they always got, like, the attention, the praise, and esteem just off their looks. But that's why, if you get to know some of them, most majority of them, that's why a lot of things, too, they can be rude, disrespectful, a lot of things. Or they did these things are a lot of times missing with their character, like, honestly. Like, this is like, damn, because because they never had to, because they were all like, and it's the same type of deal. This on the inverse with men with money, honestly, because like that's just is what it is. I mean, it's the same for aspect for a man, but it really happens. I know in my lifetime with women. That's why you don't see. That's why like somebody like who's dropped that gorgeous, like but that even goes to show you how like wow she is like a Maya, right? Maya's dropped that gorgeous, but she married herself, honestly. She really married herself. That's how like there's something there, and something like it has to be you. You had to be common denominator, but somebody like that really more for me. I speak as me. I probably won't serve the Most High Yahshua, man, because it's like it's that same aspect. Because one, it's kind of what we're just talking about. Because like if you married yourself and you just drop that gorgeous like that, like there's something up with you. That's something with your character, or like a Holly Berry or something like that. Like that's just is what it is right there. But a lot of times too, since we just talking about that, that's just is what it is too. So that is that aspect of why. But let's go back to it because I want to share that. But yeah. So get the Most High Yahshua your best, man. Let's go 1 Samuel 15. Then we're gonna go back to Cause Saul was a Cain type of nigga. To be honest with you, had to Cain. Not only the hatred and evil eye towards your brother, but the covetousness from wanting for yourself. That's selfishness. But First Samuel chapter 15 verse 9. But the people, but Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and the oxen and the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good and would not only destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused they utterly destroyed. So see, he kept the nice stuff, like nice sheep, agricultural stuff, like nice cattle, nice lambs and fatling. He's kept all the night, but all the stuff that was like, I'm gonna get rid of those. But see, that's iniquity because you're perverting you perverted a direct command from the Most High house, the direct word. Just to say, okay, I killed them, so even though I didn't kill all of them, because the Most High house said kill them all, and this is after Yahushua, Most High Yahushua just cut Saul's off completely. So yeah, man. That's a Cain type of spirit. That's the way it came right there, man. So, but Saul and the people spared. Let's read this again. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good. And would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile, and he refused that they destroy him utterly. So, yeah, and also too, even the law says, listen, we will constantly have war with the Amalekites, man. Even that we see that to this day with the quote unquote those Edomites of fake kind of Jews as the Jewish per se, those Amalekites, man. But that was in the law. But also too, we paying for that for something that Saul did. I speak as a man with that, but but notice how like that, right? Saul wanted to keep the best for himself, man. But that's why when the most time we even chose Saul as king, he said, you'll get the king, and here this is what he will do. But let's go back to Genesis, man. So this is the way it came as well, man. Honestly, that covetous want the best for yourself, selfish, or that covetous not giving the most on your house shot the best, kind of yeah, man. So let's just grab let's get Genesis chapter 4 verse 3. It says, in the process, it came to pass, Cain brought the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord. Verse 4. And Abel, he brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering, but unto Cain his offering did not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. So see, yeah, man, it's just that's how Saul was even that aside, hatred for your brother, the evil eye toward your brother, that aside, that maliciousness that's in you. He was covetous, and he just wanted the best for himself. He's selfish as well, man. And this way, even with that, right? Notice how this in both accounts. Even after most of your house chastises them or corrects them, they still talking crazy. They still said something crazy because Cain just said, he really said to Most High Yahshua, am I my brother's keeper? That's like going into a courtroom and just talking crazy to a judge, not realizing that your fate lies in his hands, or you said something really wild. But notice how Most High Yahshua, they just they say, but notice what they did with both. It's what, we're just going to depart, because what, I was talking about this with my mom, right? And we talk about this all the time. I talk about this a lot. A lot of people tell me this, and I tell a lot of people this. I'm pretty sure, actually, we talk about this a lot too on here. A lot of times too, this the Most High House does as well. They they realize okay, they'll remove their presence from you, just natural people, right? Certain people that's quote unquote energy, like vampires, they should say, or they don't appreciate you, or they treat you a certain way, but or had done or do or act or behavior or conduct they'll a certain way towards you and things of that nature. But once you slightly start to remove yourself from them, that's when they realize they appreciate you, or you know what, it's all good. There's no problem between me and you. It's all good. But you know what? I'm just gonna go over here. I'm moving my presence away from you. That's what the Most High House does. And that's what he did to Cain. He said, no, I ain't gonna kill you, because he forgave them. Because we always talk about that. For forgiveness, that doesn't mean the dynamic always goes back to how it was. It's okay, no, I forgive you, but you stay over there. I'm just no, I'm kind of good on you, And that's what he did to Cain. It's like, because he didn't kill Cain. No, no, Cain, live your life, but you know, I'm like my spirit, my presence. I'm remove my presence from you. That's what he did with Saul. Even with Saul's response, Saul would, and that's how you know Saul was of the line. Like you know, I mean, the Pharisees were of the line of Saul. Because even after that, or whatever, or all the Most High house I just said to Saul when he cast his Holy Spirit away from him, like you know, he gave and Saul but Saul was still worried about the praise and esteem of the people. So he said, man, give me the you know the esteem I once had amongst the elders and the people. It's like you don't get it. It's just like you know the same with the Pharisees, man. Like you know, like yeah. So that's is what it is, man. But hopefully this is edifying. My bad for the long-winded. You know, yeah, sidebar. I can digress too much. I can go to too much soliloquies, a lot of times too. But you know, a lot of times too, I just want to say certain points that come to mind, man. But hopefully it's edifying, man, because that's another way of the way it came. That's a Cain type of spirit as well. Like we talked about this before, man. Like you know, not more than the evil eye and like not hating your brother. It's the aspect of like you know. It's that Kathy Bates from Misery mentality, or like you know Nurse Ratched, I know it's best for you mentality, or just to accept me, like you know, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And you're supposed to accept it. That type of spirit, like no, well I'm not having that because that's the way it can as well. And like you know, and then that's just is what it is, man. So hopefully, hopefully that this is edifying. So peace.